Good morning, everyone. It's Friday around 9:45. The race is on Sunday, but I'll be leaving for Glasgow tomorrow. I'm not leaving particularly early, but I would like to start packing. I thought I have the morning off, why not get started with that straight away? Alright, so some of you might have noticed that I actually didn't pack my wetsuit or a towel. That's because the towel is in the wash and the wetsuit is hanging at the moment because I went swimming last night, so I'm just drying it out. Speaking of wetsuits and the swim that I had yesterday, I had a bit of a nightmare. I actually got pushed by some waves onto rocks and I kind of crashed into them, and my right foot is suffering at the moment. It's full of cuts and it was bleeding quite a lot last night. I cleaned it, disinfected it, put a bandage around it. It's still a little bit tender. I'm walking gingerly, so I'm doing my best to kind of rest, and at this point I'm just hoping that the wound closes and that I can run without too much pain on Sunday. And to add insult to injury, the left foot actually got stung by a jellyfish. Luckily, it looks like it's a very minor sting, so the left foot feels good this morning. The right foot, well, that's still a process, but fingers crossed for the race. Alright, so that's done. Yeah, I just took the camera and the GPS mount off. I installed the pump to my tube. I've never ridden with it before. It's protruding a little bit from the tube, so I don't know if that's going to hinder me as I'm pedaling. I'll definitely have to check that out sooner rather than later. I also adjusted the saddle slightly. I think it was a couple of centimeters too short. And also adjusted the tilt on it because I was sliding back off from the saddle. This is a new bike. I bought it on Tuesday, and today's Saturday. I've ridden with it a few times, and it rides beautifully, especially compared to my previous bike, which was a touring bike. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it was a little bit too big for me, and it was always loaded with a couple of bags, so definitely much heavier. This one feels lighter, feels much more like a bike that I can use to race and work out rather than tour around Scotland. Anyway, I'll give you a bit of a look at the bike. So I just arrived at the hotel room in Glasgow. Tomorrow's the big day. Well, I have some slightly disappointing news. Unfortunately, tomorrow's triathlon has been called off, or at least postponed until next year, because there is an amber alert here in Glasgow, which means that there's a chance of thunderstorm. But on the bright side, I get basically an extra day in Glasgow, which means that tonight I can go out and enjoy myself, or allow myself to drink a glass of wine or two. So yeah, I'm not going to be too bummed out. These things happen.